Hello YouTube world and welcome back to Thoughtful Thursdays. I am Mike Niemchak and today I wanted to show you and describe the different sections of the brain and their functions. It could be a pretty interesting topic, something that kind of just skated by my mind last week and I thought, hey, I should make a video about it because it's good to know, what parts of the brain are doing what, right? Also kind of had me thinking. I was watching the 50 First Dates over the Valentine's Day weekend, and it made me think about different parts of the brain and their functions. Anyway, let's get right down into this. As you can see behind me, I have created a beautiful work of art so that you can get a strong, colorful visual of what's going on here. All right? So we'll work from the front to the back, and I'll give a brief description of each. And it's going to be very hard to read because I have the camera flip-flopped around, so I'll take this out and then I'll just talk as you see what's going on here. Kind of like the video I did on farming the other week. All right, let's go. All right, so starting at the front, where the frontal lobe is, you have personality, your problem solving, coordination, intelligence, and memory, right? Short-term memory. And that is your frontal lobe. We'll go up, and that is your parietal lobe. And that interprets the senses, processes your spatial orientation, or your distance between things, like being able to touch this board. I'm about 1.5 feet away from the board, but from this perspective on the camera, it looks like I'm about to touch it, right? Some of your speech, your visual perception, your pain and touch sensations, as well as your reading capabilities. Going down to the temporal lobe, this is the majority of your hearing, a bit of your speech. So you have the parietal and the temporal lobe working together for speech. And then the temporal lobe is also working with the frontal lobe as far as memory goes. But this temporal lobe is responsible for the long-term memory of the brain. Moving back into the occipital lobe, which is responsible for vision. So it's also working with the parietal lobe with your vision, but the occipital lobe here is the primary worker, or has the primary responsibility when it comes to your vision. And it says here that, I was looking it up, and it says this is where dreams originate. And I'm gonna and that's why I have it like in little hash marks there to separate it from the rest of my description, because I think that the dreams originate in the pineal gland, which is tucked right about into this area, somewhere in here, right, where these all kind of mesh together. I think that the pineal gland is responsible for secreting dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, that is responsible for our dream states while we sleep. But maybe this is the control center responsible for those hormone secretions. Just my take on it. And we'll go down to the cerebellum next. And that is the motion-related control center, right? So working with your movement, your coordination, balance, and then you have the fear and pleasure responses that the cerebellum is in control of, as well as your attention and language capabilities, the ability to communicate. And then finally, we have the brainstem, or your spinal cord. And this guy's main responsibility, it is the highway of information to the rest of the body. This is what goes into your spine, obviously the spinal cord. So this is the information superhighway in your body. Also is responsible for the warning system. It is the warning system, so it alerts you for danger, the fight or flight. So you have like your primal brain, which is kind of this area in here. And then this is what really makes us, so advanced, so special, is the ability to have a personality, to solve problems, to concentrate. Our high level of intelligence is responsible in the frontal lobe primarily. And that is it. That will conclude the brain discussion. So, now you have a brief understanding of the brain, the sections of the brain, and their operations, or the sections of the brain and what they do, right? I hope that you're able to grow a little bit as far as your mental capacity, right? Creating new memories with your frontal lobe. And if you have any questions or want to know more, have a topic you want me to discuss, please write them in the description down below. In the comment section down below. If you don't want to go through the comment section here on the YouTube, you are more than welcome to write me a message on Facebook, Twitter, the Instagram. Am I forgetting anything? I think that's it. If you guys are big into Snapchat, that's one thing I don't use really for this kind of business and information, but it's kind of like my personal social thing. I'll record events like snaps of videos and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, it's just my name, Mike Niemchak. It's pretty much the same handle as my Instagram account. All right? Until next time, keep going and keep growing that brain. Peace.